Check, check. Check, check, check. Okay, good. Check, check. We go right here. Unmute the third one. Check, check. All right, good. All right, Shalom, Israel. Come on, you good. It's I.S.U.P.K, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Sorry about the hell of technical difficulties. When we rock this Sabbath service out, if you tune in at the house, feel free to ask any questions, like, share the video, Bubba Kashaw. And with that, let's get started. Good, yeah. Curry lips a little bit, spit into it. There you go, that's good. All right. All right, we're going to start off with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
It's the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanau, Shabbat
Shemaiah,
Kodash,
I.S.U.P.K,
Simcha,
Yahweh, Balakha, Aba'ah, I.S.U.P.K, Baratazah, Kawah, Shemaiah, Thun, now, Kam, Yawam, Wasalat now, Kawati now, Wala'ah, Abi'ayah now, Manasai one, Abal, Abashai now, Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Lakak, Balakha, Allah, Parth, Amen. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts. We forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
The prayer for the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Baba Kashaw.
Thunanau. Akak. Larapa'ah. Kalmaka'ah. Kalmarawa. Kak. Atahar. Kamatazaria. Akak. Lahakium. Hamakium. Akak. Arakawath. Hatama'ala. Darshan. Hashem Yahushua. The water, amen. In the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean
To
spirits.
cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh
In
Shai.
the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shai.
Why Yahweh Shai?
Why Mayaka Allah.
Why Maka Allah?
Why Allah. It's like why Allah Hayah.
Why Ahaya?
Matazabah.
Because of Bayah.
It's like Matazabah. Allah Wap behind
Allah Wap Yahana.
Ha Allah Wap.
Allah Wap Yah.
Ha Saranya.
Hasaranya.
Ha Quatazayonya.
Akwatazayanya.
Ha Kayayoya.
Akayoyo.
Why Akwaki.
Why Akwaki.
How Bashim.
Yahweh Hashem.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
The water Amon.
The water Aman. In the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angel.
And the angel.
The manager
The
Yahana.
manager of Yahweh.
The general.
The general.
The captain.
The captain.
The officers.
The officers.
Troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh
In
Shai.
the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Just press it. It's all. Yeah, you good.
This is the Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Ashai.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Aharia.
Aharia.
Mayan.
Mayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Azaria.
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 Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemaiah.
Shemaiah.
Ma'aratazah.
Maratazah.
Ayathan.
Ayathan.
Namawat.
Namawat.
Regalka.
Galka.
Ayanawam.
Ayanawam.
Shemarka.
Marka.
Hana.
Anah.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayishan.
Yayishan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasha'ala.
Yasha'ala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shemarka.
Shemarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yah.
Al-Yah.
Yamika.
Yamika.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashemash.
Hashemash.
Ayakaka.
Ayakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Walayala.
Walayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamarka.
Makarak.
Akarak.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Aknapasha.
Aknapasha.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Akna.
Tazaka.
Akna.
Waba'aka.
Ayatah.
Wayatah.
Wa'adulum.
Wayawayam. English. I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hill.
From whence cometh my help?
Which comes my help.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
My help coming from your
which
house.
made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth
He
thee
that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth
he
Yasha'Allah
that keepeth Yasha'Allah
shall neither slumber nor
shall
sleep.
neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is my
The
keeper.
Lord is my keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
And
hand.
how is that shade upon thy right hand?
The sun shall not smite thee by
The
day,
sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in.
and thy coming
From
in.
this day forth
This day forth,
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. This is Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim.
Alahayim.
Al-Dami Alakah.
Adam Elakah.
Al-Takarash.
Al-Takarash.
Al-Takashak.
Al-Tashakwat.
Al.
Al.
Kaya Hana.
Ayana.
Our Yabika.
Awabika.
Yahama Yawan.
Yohana Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Imaka.
Imaka.
Ya'ira Yawan.
Ya'ar Yawam.
Sawadah.
Sawadah.
Wayatam. Wayata Ya'atazawab.
Yawa'atas of the law.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Al-Mawari. Amara.
Amaru.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakila.
Wanakakita.
Magalia.
Magalia.
Wala Yazakar.
Wala Ayazakar.
Sham Yasha'ala.
Sham Yasha'Allah.
Awada.
Awada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Now Atazawa.
Awa'atazawah.
Laba.
Labat.
Yakadra.
Yakadra.
Al-Yaka.
Al-Yakat.
Barya.
Bayat.
Yakaratu.
Yako'akwa.
Ahoya.
Aharia.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wayashima'ala.
Washima'Allah.
Yum.
Yuam.
Mawa'aba.
Mawa'aba.
Wahagaria.
Wahagaria.
Gabal.
Wabal.
Wa'aimawan.
Imawan.
Wa'amalak.
Wa'amalak.
Palashat.
Palashat.
I.S.U.P.K.
I.S.U.P.K.
Because of war.
Gam
Gam
Ashawar.
Lalawak.
Lalawak.
Amam. Hayawak.
Sarawak.
Sarawak. Labanya
Lawak.
Salah.
Salah. Ashalaham. Kamadian.
Kasai Sarak.
Sarak.
Kayabian. Banakal. Kayashwan. Nashamadwa. Ba'ayan. Da'ara. Hayawak. Daman.
La'adama.
Shayatamwa. Nadayamawak. Ka'ara. Wakazabak. Wakatazal.
Kauna somewhat.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Nayarashi.
Lanawak.
Na'awat.
Alahaya. Shayatamwa. Gagawa. Kwash. Napaya Raka. Ira.
Wakala Haba.
Kukalaba.
Salahat.
Harayam.
Khan.
Laradakma.
Basaya Raka.
Wabasa. Wapatka. Dabahala.
Mala'ah. Panyaham.
Kwalawan. Wayabakwasha.
Sumka. Yahawa. Yabashwa. Bahawa. Adya'ai. Wayakam Parak. Waya. Abadwa. Wayadayawa. Kaya. Ata. Sumka. Yahawa. Labaka. Ayawan.
Al-Karatasa. In English. Keep not thy silence.
Oh my power.
Hold not thy peace. And be not still. Oh my power.
Below.
Thy enemy. Make a tumult. And they that hate thee. Have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted against. Thy hidden ones. They have said. Come. And let us cut them off. For being a nation. Let the name of Yasha may be no more remembrance. They have consulted together.
But they have consulted together.
With one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarenes. The Baal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites. As unto Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles. Like a ram. Like Zeeb. Yea. All their princes. As Zeeb. And Zalmunna. Who have said. Let us take to ourselves. The houses of Yahweh. In possession. Oh my power. Make them like a wheel. As a stump before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. As the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them. With thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Till their faces with shame. That they may seek my name. Oh Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And trouble forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou. Whose name alone. Is Yahweh. Art the most high. Of all the earth. Sorry. All right.
Try to say one more time.
Y'all be seated. Good. We left off last week in the book of Genesis, right? Chapter 12. Yeah, we'll get a mic check. Genesis chapter 12 and verse 3. We got my brother Kodam here, Officer Kodam. He's going to take it in the Hebrew. English. If you got any questions at home, feel free to type them in the chat. We're gonna break this thing down, man. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead, brother. Whenever you're ready.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 3. Wa abarakat, mabarakayak, wa makwala lak, ar, wa salaki, wana baraka, salaki, wana barakawa, bak, call, mawapakat, ha'arama, verse 4. Wayalak, abaram, ka'ashar, the bar, alayawa, Yahweh, wayalak, atawa, lawat, wa abaram, baka, salaki ban, kamash, shanyum, washab ya salaki, washab ayam salaki, shana, bataza'ah tawa, makaran, verse 5, waya kwak, abaram, ak, Sharaya, Ashatwa, Ra'at, Lawat, Ban, Akayan, Akayawa, Wa'at, Cow, Rakawa, Shum, Ashar, Rakashawa, Ra'at, Hanapash, Ashar, I.S.U.P.K, Bakaran, Wayataza'awa, Lala Kat, Arataza, Kana'ain, Yaba, Wayab Awa, Arataza, Kana'ain, verse 6. Waya Abar, Abarayim, Ba'arataza, Makwawa'a, it's like a Makwawam, Shakam, Alawan, Mawa, it's like Mawara, Rahaka Naya, Ba'arataza, verse 7. Waya Ra'ah, Yahweh, Abaram, Salaki. Waya Amar, Salaki. Lazara'ik, Athan, Ha'arataza, Haza'ah, Waya Salaki. Waya Ban, Shum, Mazabak, La Yahweh, Hana Ra'ah, Alayawa. That's verse 7. So. Oh no, so like we got 9 comma so like verse 8. Waya Atak, Mashum, Hahara, so like Hahara, Makaram, Labayat, Al, Wayat, Ahala, Ahalawa, Bayat, Al, Mayam, Waha'aya, Makwadam, good night, that's my name. Wayaban, Shum, Mazabak, Layahawa, Wayakura'ah, Bashum, Yahweh. Verse 9. Waya Sa'ai. Abaram. Halawak. Wana Sawai. Ha Nagar Hanagaba. Um, come. Okay, come. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 12, in the English. The Lord said to Abram, "Go forth, your native land."
Still verse 3.
From your native land.
You go verse 3? You started at verse 3, right? You too, our brother. Start at verse 3, just read down to 9. No sweat.
Book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
I will bless those who bless you, and curse him that curses you. And all the families of the earth shall bless themselves by you.
That's right.
Verse 4. Abram went forth as the Most High had commanded him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he left Haran. Verse 5. Abram took his wife Sarah and his brother's son Lot, and all the wealth that they had amassed, and the persons that they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan.
That's right.
When they arrived in the land of Canaan, verse 6, Abram passed through the land as far as the site of Shechem at the terebinth of Moreh. The Canaanites were then in the land.
That's right.
Verse 7, the Most High appeared to Abram and said, I will assign this land to your offspring. And he built an altar there to the Most High who had appeared to him. Verse 8, from there he moved on to hill country east of Bethel and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And he built there an altar to the Most High and invoked the Most High by name.
That's right. Call on the name of the Lord. That's right.
Then Abram journeyed by stages toward the Negev.
That's right. You went in verse. Yep, we start from 10 into 16. You too, our brother. Yeah, it's backwards. You just got the opposite way. Yeah, that's that. No, you too. I'll take your time. Yep. You go read from 10 all the way down to 16.
This is verse 10 in the Hebrew. Wayahaya, Ra'ayah, Ba'aratazar, Wayarad, Abaram, Matazariah, Lagawar, Shum, Kayab, Kavad, Hara'ai, Ba'aratazar, verse 11. Wayahaya, Ka'abshar, Hapariyam, Labawa'al, Matazariyama, Wayahamar, Al, Saraya, Ashtawa, Hanan, Na'ak, Ya'id, Tayab, Tayab, Ashab, Yapak, Mara'ah, verse 12, Yahaya, Kayab, Yara'awak, Atak, Hamatazarayim, Ra'ai Mawan, Ra'ai Ma Ra-wa, Al-Shatwa, Da'at, Rahara, Dawat, Daya, Wahatan, like Wahatak, like Wah, Yawa, 13, Ashar, like Amarayah, Na'ah,
Akathia.
Lama'ah, Yayatal, like Yayatal, from him. Iba, Ba'ayabarak, Rakayata, Napasha, Bagabala, Bagam Lakat. Verse 14, Wayaha, Kaba Wa'ab, Abaram, Matazariama, Wara, Wayara, Maha Tazarayam, it's like Hamatazarium, Ab, Ha'asha, it's like Ha'ash, Kaya, Yapa, Hara'ah, Amar, slacking Ma'ar, slacking, yeah, Ma'ar. Verse 15, Wayara'awa, Ata, Sharaya, Par'ai, no, Par'ai, Wayahalal Lawa, Ata, Al, Par'ai, Watakwak, Ha'amash, it's like it, Asha, Bayat, Para'ai, verse 16, it's like it, Wala Abara, it's like it, Wa'ala Baram, Haya Tayab, Ba'ai Bara, it's like it, Ba'ai Bawara, Waya Haya, Lawa, Taza'ak, Wabakar, Wahamarayam, Wa'aiba Dayam, Washa Pakat, Wa'a Thanat, Waga Malaya, verse 17. Oh, 16 come so like is it 9 or 10? Come. Okay, this is the book of Genesis chapter 14, verse 10. Oh, good night. 12, verse 10. There was a famine in the land, and Abram went down to Egypt to sojourn there. Come. I'm fuck here. I'm gonna bring my phone. Good night. Oh, we need a what's it called? Come. Good night. So lucky.
Let's run down the history of Abraham and his family. All right, going into Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we had 12 verse. There you go.
And this is the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 10. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. Verse 11. And it came to pass, when he was come near to enter into Egypt, that he said unto Sarai, his wife, Behold now, I know thou art a fair woman to look upon.
Meaning she was very, very pretty. As Abram said to his wife, go ahead.
Verse 12. Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, This is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alone.
And that disgusting, just like some heathens, man. Right. Bunch of barbarians. She fine. Instead of honoring, like we have a law in Israel. You don't sleep, you don't commit adultery. Right. If that sister has a husband, she's off limits. You understand? Because we are righteous, separate, holy people. Abraham knew that, but he also knew that he was dealing with some stinking heathens that didn't have the law. And that also proves that what? This is prior to what? This proves that this is Genesis, man. Adam had a law too. This is direct descendants. So we always been, very people that conducted themselves better than the rest of the beasts of the field. You understand? They was going to kill. If she was so fine that these stinking Africans would have killed him just to have her. Now you imagine that mindset in these heathens today, and why it's so important for us to read these records and stay far away from them, spiritually, mentally, physically, the best you can. Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand? Go ahead, brother.
Verse 13. Say, I pray thee, thou art my sister. That it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of thee. Verse 14. And it came to pass that when Abram was come into Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman, that she was very fair. Verse 15. The princes also of Pharaoh saw her and commended her before Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. Verse 16. And he entreated Abraham well for her sake. And he had sheep and oxen and he asses, and men servants and maid servants and she asses and camels.
With that, you good. You're going to, yep, 17, and then go to verse 3 and 13. You good, though. I'll take that.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 17 in the Hebrew. It's like 12 or 17 in the Hebrew. Wayanaga, Wanagaya, Yahweh, Power Naga Ayom, Gada Layom, Wa'at, Bayatawa, Al, Dabar, Sariah, Asha, Abaram, verse 18. Wayatara, Para'ah, La Abaram, Waya Amar, Ma, Za'ab, Ashayat, Laya, Lama, La'a, Magadab, Laya, Kaya, Ashatat, Hawa, Hawa, 19, Lama, Marat, Akabaya, Hawa, Wa'akwak, Selaki, Atam, Laya, La'asha, Wa'aita, Hana, Aishatak, Kwak, Walak, verse 20. Waya Tazawa, Alayawa, Gara'ai, Anashayam, Waya Shalak, Wa, Atawa, Wa'at, Ashatwa, Wa'at, Kal, Ashar, Lawa. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 1. Come on, sir. Waya Al, Abaram, Mama Tazariam, it's like Hawa'a, Wa'a Shatwa, Wakal, Ashar, Lawa, Walawat, Aimawa, Hanagaba, verse 2. Wa'abaram, Kabad, Ma'id, Bamakwana, Bakasap, Wabazahab, verse 3. Wayalak, Lama Sa'ayawa, Managab, Wa'id, Bayat, Al, Id, Hamakawam, Ashar, Haya, Sham, Ahala, Batakwa, Batakala, Bayan, Bayat, Al, Wabayan, Ha'aya. 12 verse. Was it 13?
Yeah, it was 13. No, it was 12, man. You read out 20, right?
I started in 16 and 17.
Yes, 17, verse 17.
Come on. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 17. And the Most High plagued Pharaoh and his house with the great plague because of Sarah, Abram's wife.
We serve a just God. Plague the house of them heathens, man, for doing that wicked act. Go ahead, brother.
Come. And Pharaoh called Abram, it's like in verse 18, and Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this that thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife? Verse 19, Why saidest thou, she is my sister? So I might have taken her to my wife. Now therefore, behold, thy wife, take her and go thy way. Mm. And Pharaoh, verse 20, and Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away, and his wife and all that he had.
That's right.
Verse 13. It's like Genesis chapter 13, verse 1. And Abram went up out of Egypt, he and his wife, and all that he had, and Lot with him into the south. Verse 2. And Abram was very rich in cattle, in silver, and in gold.
That's right.
Verse 3. And he went on his journeys from the south, even to Bethel, unto the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Hai. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 4 in the Hebrew. Al, Makawam, Hamazabak, Ashar, Shum, Ba'arasha Na, Wayakorah, Shum, Abaram, Basham, Yahweh, verse 5. Wagam, Lalawat, Hahalak, Abaram, Haya, Taza'awa, Taza'an, Wabakor, Wa'ahalayum. Right. Verse 6. Wala'ah, Nasha'a, Atham, Ha'arataza, Lasha Bath, Yadka, Yakadwa, good night. Kaya, Haya, Wakawa Shum, Rab, Raab, Wala'ah, Ya Kalawa, Lashabab, Yakadwa, verse 7. Waya Haya, Rayab, Bayan, Ra'aya, Makwana, Abaram, Wabayan, Ra'aya, Makwana, Lawat, Wahakana Naya, Wahaparazaya, Azar, Yashab, Ba'aratazar. Verse 8. Waya Amar, Abarayim, Al, Lawat, Al, Na'a, Tahaya, Mariabah, Bayanya, Wabayanya, Wabayan, Ra'aya, Wabayan, Ra'ayak, Kaya, Anashayam, Akayam, Anakanawa, verse 9. Hala, Hala'ah, Cow, Ha'arataza, Lapanyak, Ha Parad, Na'a, Ma'ilaya, Hashama'al, Wa'aya Mayana, Wa'aya Mana, Wa'at, Haya Mawan, Haya Mayan, Wa'a Shama Ayala, verse 10. Wayasha'a, Lawat, Ayan, Ayanyan, Ayan Yawa, Waya Ra'ah, Cow, Kakar, Hayaradim, Kaya, Kala, Mashakwa, Lapanya, Shakat, Yahweh, Saddam, Wa'at, Imara, Kagan, Kagat, Yahweh, Ka'arataza, Matazarian, Ba'aka, Tazar. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 4 in the English. Unto the place of the altar which he made there at the first, and there Abram called on the name of the Most High. Verse 5. And Lot also, which went with Abram, had flocks and herds and tents, and the land was not able to bear them, that they might dwell together, for their substance was great, so that they could not dwell together. Verse 7. And there was a strife between the herdmen of Abram's cattle and the herdmen of Lot's cattle, and the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelled then in the land. Verse 8. And Abram said unto Lot, let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my herdmen and thy herdmen, for we be brethren.
Look how blessed they were. They had all them herds and gold. They were just like getting each other way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a good problem to have. But he's trying to solve it now.
That's right.
We're gonna get to that in a minute. Go ahead.
That's right. Verse 9. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right. Or if thou depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left.
Look how unproblematic, Abraham was, man.
Right.
Solid brother, man.
That's
if we could have that type of mindset to not even, he's his family.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, brother, just you go there, I'll go there. Or if I may, that's the right spirit to be in. Go ahead, brother.
The book of Genesis chapter 13, verse 10. And Lot lifted his eyes and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere before the Most High destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Most High, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. Verse 11. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. Verse 12.
Where Lot is at now, I think verse around 18 and 19 is where the story of Sodom and Gomorrah goes. That'd be a week or two from now, but yeah, man. Go ahead, keep reading, brother. Khan Slaki, you read down to verse 10, 11 through 17. Yep.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 13, verse 11 in the Hebrew. Vayabakar, Lawat, Cow, Kakar, Ha-Yaradan, Wayasai, Lawat, Makwadam, Wayapadawa, Ayash, Ma'al, Akayawa, verse 12, Abaram, Yashab, Ba'aratiza, Kana'aim, Walawat, Yashab, Ba'iraya, Hakakar, Wa'ahal, Id, Saddam, verse 13, Wa'anashaya, Saddam, Ra'ayam, Wakata'ayam, La Yahweh, Ma'ad, verse 14, Wa Yahweh, Amar, Al, Barum, Akaraya, Haparad, Lawat, Ma'ai Mowa, Sha'ah, Na'ah, Ayanyak, Wara'ah, Man, Kwam, it's like Ashar, Ap, Shum, Tazapana, Wanagaba, Wakwaradum, it's like Wakwadma, Wayama, verse 15, Kaya, Ap, Cow, Ha'aratiza, Ashar, Ap, Ra'ah, Laka, Atanana, Walaza, Ra'ai, Ralazaraik, Id, Iwalam, verse 16, Washamathia, At, Zaraak, Kaya, Salaki, Kaipar, Ha'arataza, Ashar, Ya, Wakal, Ayash, Laman, Lana, Salaki, Lama, Na, Wat, At, Ipar, Ha'arataza, Gum, Zaraak, Yamana, verse 17, Kodam, Hatahalak, Ba'arataza, La'a Raka, Wala Ra, Kaba, Kaya, Laka, Ata Nana, verse 18, Waya Ahal, Abaram, Waya Ba'a, Waya Shab, Ba'alanya, Mamara'a, Ashar, Bakabarawan, Wayaban, Shum, Mazabak, La Yahweh. This is verse what, 19, the last one? Come on. This book of Genesis. No, it's 12. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 13, verse 11. Then Lot chose him all the, no, it's 12. Then says Abraham dwelt in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelt in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent towards Sodom. Verse 13. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Most High exceedingly. Verse 14. And the Most High said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now thine eyes, and look from the place where thou art northward, and southward, and eastward, and westward. Verse 15. For all the land which thou seest, to thee I will give it, and to thy seed forever. Verse 16. And I will make thy seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man can number the dust of the earth, then shall thy seed also be numbered.
So pretty much all that Middle East area belong to us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Historically, it's right here in Genesis.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because the folks over there now inhabit that land, that ain't their land. And then them Sunni and Shiites going to soon find out. You know what I'm saying? There was some Negroes coming up through there. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 18. Then Abram removed his tent and came and dwelt in the plain of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built there an altar unto the Most High. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayahaya.
18, okay.
Come. The book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayahaya. Baya Maya. Amarag. No, Amarapal. Malak. Shanar, like Shanar, Wara Yawak, Malak, Alasar, Kada, good night, Kadara La'ai Mar, Flaka, Kadara La'ai Mar, Malak, Ayalam, Watad Al, Malak, Gawayam, verse 2, Aishawa, Malakama, Ab, Barai, Malak, Saddam, Wa'at, Bara Sha'ai, Malak, Amara, Shan Ab, Malak, Adama, Washa Ma'abar, Malak, Tazab Yayum, Wa Malak, Bala'ah, Haya'ah, Taza'ar, verse 3, Kal, Allah, Kaba, Rawa, Al, Imak, Hashadyum, Waha, It's like Hawa'a, Yum, Ha Malak, verse 4. Shatyam, Ashara, Shana, Ada, it's like Ibadawa, I Ab, Kada Ra La Mar, Washalash, Ashara, Shana, Maradawa, verse 5. Waba Ara Ba'ai, Aishara, Shana, Ba'a, Kadarala Amar, Kadalara Amar, Waha Malakaya, Waha, it's like Waha Malakayam, Ashar, Atwa, Wayakawa, At, Rapa'ayam, Ba'aishat, it's like Ba'aishat, Quaranium, Wa'at, Ha the Wa Zayum, Bahum, Wa'at, Ha'a Ya Mayum, Bashawa, Quara Ya Thum, Slaki, Quara Ya Thayum, verse 6. Wa'at Haka Raya, Baha Raram, I Slaki, Sha'ira, Slaki, Sha'ayar, I Ayal, Pa Pa'aran, Ashar, Al, Hamad Dabar, verse 7. That's it. Okay, cover.
7 after this.
Okay, cover. So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 1. And it came to pass in the days of Amraphel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elazar, Kedar Laamer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of nations. Verse 2.
All these heathen kings, pretty much. That area was like flooded with mighty men and kings. Yeah, it's insane. You know, reading about all these kings, it's like, man, you know, this vast area, you know, all these kings, Elam, Kedor, like all these other nations, man. Go ahead, brother.
That these made war with Barak, king of Sodom, and with Birsha, king of Gomorrah, it's like a Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, and Shemaber, king of Zeboim, and the king of Bala, which is Zoar. Verse 3. All these were joined together in the vale of Siddim, which is the salt sea. Verse 4. 12 years they served Kedor Amir, and in the 13th year they rebelled. Verse 5. In the 14th year came Kedar Laomer and the kings that were with him, and smote the Raphaims and Ashtaroth, Karnaim, and the Zizims. Good night. Right.
All these people are, they're gone. They smote them, Zuzims.
That's right. Is in Ham, and the Emims, and Shaveh, and Kiriathaim. Verse 6. And the Horites, and the Mount Seir, unto El Paran, which is by the wilderness. What this is? Okay, this is the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 7 in the Hebrew. Wayash Bawa, Wayab Awa, Al, Ayan, Mashapat, Hawa'a, Kodash, Wayakal, it's like a Wayakawa, At, Kal, Shadah, Ha'a Malak Kaya, Wagam, Ab, Ha'amaria, Hayashab, Baka Taza, good night. Baka Taza, Tamar, verse 8. Wayataza, Malak, Saddam, Wa Malak, Imara, wa Malak, Idam, Slack Idama, wa Malak, Tazab Yayum, wa Malak, Balai, Ma Slack Hawa'a, Tazar, wa I Slack Waya, I Rab Slack Waya, I Ra Kaya, Atham, Malakama, Ba'ai Mak, Hashabyam, verse 9. Good night. Right. It's even harder than Hebrew to read. Good night. Verse 9. Ah, Kadara la Amar, Malak, Ayalam, Wata the Al, Malak, Gawa, Gawayam, Marapal, Malak, Shana'ar, Raya, Wa'a Raya Wak, Malak, Ala Sar, it's like, yeah, Ala Sar, um, I, what is that? Arab, Malakaya, it's like Malakayam, Ab, Hakamashah, verse 10, Wa'aimak, Hashadim, Ba'arat, Ba'arat, Kamar, Waya Nasawa, Malak, Saddam, Wa'ai Mara, Waya Palawa, Shema, Waha Nasha Arayam, Hara, Nasawa, verse 11, Waya Kukawa, Ak, Kal, Rakash, Saddam, Wa'amara, Wa'at, Kal, Al Kalam, Waya Lakawa, verse 12, Waya Kokar, flag Waya Kokawa, At, Lawat, Wa'at, Raka Shawa, Ban, Akaya, Akin, sorry, sorry, what is it? Abaram, sorry, Wala Kawa, Waha, Yashab, but Saddam, verse 13, Waya Abba, Hapalayat, Wayagar, La Abaram, Ha'ai Baraya, Baria, oh, that's Hebrew, most of them. Wa'a, Shakan, no, Shakawa, no, that's Shakan. That's Shakan, that Comic Con, that's the N. The N and the K we kind of looking on like the car. It's a lot. Ba'a Lanya, Mama Ra'a, Ha'a Raya, Akaya, it's like Akia, Ashakal, Wa'a, Wa'akia, Ainar, Waham, Slaki, Ba'ala, Slaki, Ba'alia, Bariyat, Baram. Oh, is that it on that one? Okay. What's that at the top?
You start at verse 7 through 13.
Okay, come on. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 7. And they returned and came to En Mishpat, which is Kadesh, and smote all the country of the Amalekites, and also the Amorites that dwelt in Hazazon. Good night. Hazazon Tamar.
That's the word you said in Hebrew.
Right. Good night. Verse 8. And there went out the king of Sodom, and the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Admah, and the king of Zeboim, and the king of Bela, the same is Zoar. And they joined battle with them in the vale of Siddim. Verse 9. With Kedor Laomer, the king of Elam, and with Tidal, king of nations, and Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Elazar, 4 kings with 5. Verse 10, and the vale of Sheddim was full of slime pits, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there, and they that remained fled to the mountain. Verse 11, and they that all the gods, and they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their victuals and went their way. Verse 12, and they took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. That's right. That's right. Come. Verse 13, and there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre, the Amorite, brother of Eshcol, and brother of Aner, and these were confederate with Abram. Verse 14, and when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them unto Dan.
How many servants he said he had? Armed them 300 and what?
He said 318.
Good night, brother. Come on, man. Abraham wasn't nothing to play with, man. He cared about his family. You understand? That's a just man right there. I see why the Lord chose Abraham, man. Go ahead, brother.
There's a lot about me that shows you too why we do Hebrew Academy.
Right, that's right.
Like you said,
That's right.
Trained servants.
They weren't just no laying around. They was trained. In case something happened, y'all gonna, yeah, let's get it. That's right. That's right.
So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 15 in the Hebrew. Oh, that's it. Oh, come.
And with that, we're gonna pick up next. Slide, we'll pick up next week. You know what I'm saying? Continue the stories. We get all the way to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All these famous stories in the Bible, man. It's important you tune into the Sabbath service. You know, learn your history, man. You know what I'm saying? Your culture. You know, let's take it back from the so-called oppressor, man.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And with that, Almighty. Men of Israel, Almighty, prepare, gird thy loins, prepare the salutatory. All right, sorry, Wapanya Aquadam, which means sorry, face the east. We're gonna say these prayers and close out the service. Salaki.
Lord's Prayer in Hebrew.
Abanaw, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malatuka, Taba'ah, Ratazayah, Hayah, I.S.U.P.K, Ba'arataza, Kawah, Hayah, Bashemayim, the Thunmanah, the Kam, Kayawam, Wasalatna, Kawapna, Kasalatna, Kawapna, Wala'ah, Fayetteville, I.S.U.P.K, Abal, I.S.U.P.K, Mayan, Right, Kaya, Maka, Amalakwa, Waha'awa, Watapara, Lavalamin, Aman.
In English, our Father,
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Thy
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done
in earth,
as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
Give our debtors.
We forgive our debtors.
Lead us not
Lead us not into temptation.
Deliver us
from
evil.
Thine is the kingdom, thine is the kingdom,
and
the power,
and
the glory, forever.
So be it.
So be it. This is the prayer for the power. Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Baba Kishah, the thunder now, Hakak, Lara Fa'ah, Kamakala, Waka Marawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazari, Hakak, Lahakim, Hamathi, Hakak, Arakawa, Hatama'ala, Wadarshan, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, the water among.
English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Name Yahweh Shah.
Name Yahweh Shah.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
Power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
Power to cleanse the leper.
The power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean
The
spirits.
power against unclean spirits.
Cast them out.
To cast them out.
Name of Yahweh
In
Shah.
the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. This is the blessing in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shah. Wa Ma'at Allah. Wa Ha'ala Hayim. Salaki. Matazabiyah. Alawak Yahana. Ha'alawak. Ha'saranya. Ha'kwatazayanya. Ha'kayayoyim. Wa Ha'awaktim. Yahweh. Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. Wada Aman.
English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Yahweh Shah.
And Michael.
And the angels.
Manager in Yahweh.
Manager in Yahweh.
General.
The general.
Captain.
The captain.
Officer.
The officer.
Trooper.
The trooper.
And the sister.
And the sister.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
The David Yahweh
In
Shah.
the name of Yahweh Shah.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it.
Psalm 121 in the Hebrew.
This Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. I.S.U.P.K, I.S.U.P.K, Ahari, Mahayan, Yaba'a, Izari, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayam, Wa'arati, Ayatan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Ayanawan, Shemarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yayasham, Shawamar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Ayat, Yamyaka, Yamawam, Hashamash, La'ayakaka, Wayaraq, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamar, Makarak, Yashamar, Athnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Waba'aka, Ma'ata, Wa'id Walon.
I will know. English. I will lift my eyes to the hills.
I will lift my eyes to the hills.
Which comes my help?
Which comes my
My
help?
help comes from your house.
My help comes from your house.
Made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
that keepeth thee
He that keepeth
will
thee
not slumber.
without slumber.
Behold,
He
that keepeth
he
Yahshua
that keepeth Yahshua
shall neither slumber
shall neither slumber
nor sleep.
nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by
The
day,
sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going
and
out
thy coming in.
and thy coming in.
This time
From
forth,
this time forth
even forevermore.
and even forevermore. This is Psalm 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Dami Alakah, Al-Thakarash, Wa Al-Tashakwat, Al-Kayahana, Al-Awiyabika, Yahamayawam, Ra'ash, Al-Imaka, Ya'ira Yawam, Sawadah, Wayata, Ya'atazawah, Al-Tazafawan, Amarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakila, Magoya, Wala'ah, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'ala, Awada, Kaya, Nawa'ah, Tazawak, Labah, Yakadwa, Al-Yakab, Bayat, Yakaratu, Al-Harya, Adawam, Wa Yashama'ala, Yom, Wa Mawa'aba, Wa Hagaria, Yabal, Wa Amawan, Wa Amalak, Halashat, Am Yashabia, Tazawar, Yom Ashawar, Nalawa, Amam, Hayawa, Zara'ai, Nabani Lawa, Salah, Aishalaham, Kamadin, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabin, on a call, Kwayash one, Na Shamadwan, Baya Dara, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shayatmawa, Nadayab Mawa, Ka'arab, Wakazabak, Wakatazal, Mana'ai, Kanayasawak, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Na'awak, Alahayat, Shayatum, Kagavala, Kakwash, Lapanya Rakwa, Ka'ash, Abira, Wakalaba, Kalahat, Harayam, Khan, Taradat, Basaraka, Wabasa, Wapaka, Tabahalam, Mala'at, Panyaham, Walawan, Wayabakwashu, Subka, Yahawa, Yabashu, Wayabahawa, Adya'ai, Wa Kapar, Waya Abadwa, Waya Da'awa, Kaya Ata, Sumka, Yahawa, Labaka, Ayawan, Alkaha Adarata.
Keep not thy silence.
Keep not thy silence. Oh my power.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
Oh power.
Oh my power.
For lo,
thy enemy. Make a tumult.
They that hate me.
They that hate me.
Have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted against.
And consulted against
thy hidden one.
They have said. Come.
Let us cut them off.
And let us cut them off.
From being a nation.
The
name of Yasha'Allah.
The name of Yasha'Allah.
There be no more remembrance.
There be no more remembrance.
They have consulted together.
For they have consulted together. With one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom.
And the Ishmaelites.
And the Ishmaelites.
Of
Moab.
And the Hagarenes.
The Baal.
And Ammon.
And Ammon.
And
Amalek.
The Philistines.
With
the inhabitants of Tyre.
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also.
To join with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah.
Do unto them.
Unto the Midianites. As unto Sisera. As unto Jabez.
At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles. Like Oreb. Like Zeel. Yea. All their princes. As the Bob. As the Muda. Who have said. Let us take to ourselves. The house of Yahweh. In possession. All my power. Make them like a wheel. As a stubble before the wind. As the fire burning the wood. As the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. They may seek thy name. Oh Yahweh. Let them be confounded. In trouble forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou. Name alone. Is Yahweh. Art the Most High. Over all the earth. Sorry. All right. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Ahmad Shabbat, Ahmad, Barak, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh Shabbat, Yahweh Matah, class dismissed.